I don't know if he pressed the button. He didn't. That was nice. Oh. Yes for game. Woo! So, after 100 games of Goldlewis Dickinson, we have finished at 52 wins to 48 losses. Pretty good, and I have to say, Goldlewis is actually pretty fun. I was kind of dreading playing the games with him initially. I'm usually not too interested in playing the big body characters or the hulking power-up types. I've mentioned before I like speedy characters. But Goldlewis was a very pleasant surprise and a character I found very fun to play. I think it came because he's very, very different from what I had anticipated or thought of him initially. I thought initially he was, this slow powerhouse type character, and he does have big combos with Behemoth Typhoons and stuff, but I was able to play him like a mix-up character for the most part. I was able to, once I got my pressure going, get people into the corner, and then he has a very dangerous high-low throw game, with his Behemoth Typhoons, so I believe it's the 862 and the 842 that will overhead or low the opponent, and then also just setting up the drone. The drone is such a powerful tool. It is such a messed up little guy, and I'm kind of remiss I didn't play Goldlewis earlier when it was super buff several patches ago. I think that was start of season 2 or something, where it didn't go away on hit and it just interrupted all sorts of crazy things. I understand now why it got nerfed, but it still would have been fun to play around with while it was super buff. So Goldlewis as a character has some very specific things about him. I don't think his neutral is all that great. He has buttons that are very, very specific tools and have very specific counterplay on every single one of them. I know I ended up using a lot of Far Slash, a lot of 2P, and a lot of Jump Dust. And if you fought against this character, or if you play this character, you've probably heard some things about his Jump Dust being just this absolutely crazy button. But I think now I still hate that button, but I have a lot more respect for what it does. I think Jump Dust kind of shapes how the matchup plays, because without it, I don't think Goldlewis would really have an approach tool outside of just waiting for level 3 drone. And he needs something that warps the matchup in his favor so he's able to start his pressure game. And once his pressure gets started, the Behemoth Typhoons, the close slash pressure, his combo game, and his high damage can carry him to some really snowbally victories very quickly too. There were a lot of comebacks in this 100 games just because as long as I got the hit and I was able to start some pressure, then it was likely to close out the game. So going back and speaking about Goldlewis's neutral game here for a little bit, I wanted to mention that I started off with a really rough streak, actually. I think it was my second day of playing. My first day of playing, I only got a handful of games in, and then there were some network issues and whatnot, so I wasn't able to play too much. But on my second day, it was something like 8 or 9 wins to 20 plus losses. It's 22 or 23 losses, and a lot of those were in a row. And it took a good amount of thinking about what I needed to do, and also getting lucky. I was watching Back Pro Brawl later that night, and a Goldlewis player named Red I Am Not was in the top 8. I was able to watch what he was doing in neutral and to create space, and I realized I wasn't using my Behemoth Typhoons in neutral at all at that point. I had just pretty much been using Far Slash, and I also wasn't using a lot of Jump Dust because It still hadn't clicked for me, even though I lose to this button all the time while playing other characters, that I needed to use it more. So once I short up those differences and just applied more Behemoth Typhoon, the game started coming pretty naturally. I found Goldlewis to be like a pretty natural fit for how I wanted to approach and pressure people, and especially closing out games. I love how he handles the mix-up game. I think it's very unique, and I think the Behemoth Typhoon stuff is super fun. Speaking on the Behemoth Typhoons, this is the executional barrier for this character, and it was difficult for me to get too consistent. I've mentioned in the other video I was going to start learning Snackbox, but I decided not to do that for Goldlewis, because playing on arcade stick and like swinging the stick around to actually do the behemoth sounded like so much more fun, and I'm glad I did it. Being able to get those consistently is a big part of the execution grind for Goldlewis, and it's something you'll just have to be ready for. I think it's easy enough to kind of get them down and then know what typical ones you want to go for within your first like 10 or 20 games, but then getting them consistently and in the ranges you want becomes the really tricky part. But yeah, that's going to do it for the Goldlewis games. Character I found really fun and actually started finding some success with, even a Celestial challenge along the way, so that's always fun, and I've started noting down when I got Celestial challenges with characters and going back through backlog footage. But yeah, hope everybody enjoyed the Goldlewis games. Up next will be Jacko Valentine, and I will be swapping to Snackbox while also learning Jacko, so should be interesting because she is another very execution-heavy character in her own right. Another type of puppet character, which I have enjoyed before, so I am looking forward to playing and learning some Jacko. So yeah, let me know what you think about Goldlewis in the comments below, and enjoy the matches, guys. Peace. Alright, first game. I warmed up by playing Johnny in arcade mode. Right, I need to jump heavy. Yeah, that's fair. He had 100 meter. I forgot what my fucking super was. He got me. My 2DS, which didn't actually like break the screens horribly. Like you could still see everything, but what it did do was broke everything. Hey, Sarah. I believe everyone's doing okay. Nice. Oh, nice. That's something I also need to do more of. It's just more 5K. 5K hits lit. Yeah, it made the touchscreen unusable is what it did. Worth it. It worked. Woo! Got it. Game 50 dub in the mirror match? Hell yeah. I don't want to do more Bostra. Do more Bostra. Have some fun. It didn't come out. Not a safe jump. Okay. So long as you're aware, Matari, I needed to let you know because, especially the last time, it was like pretty bad IMO. Got him. And that was game 100. What are the Goldlewis stats looking like? I will let you know now. So that was a 1 to 2.
Goldlewis wins.
52 to 48. We are in the positive. We have ended in the positive. After having a, 20 game losing streak on day 2, we have ended in the positive.